If you continue watching this video after this message, then you're willing to accept to watch the most horrific events that have taken place in Thailand. Video discretion is advised that this video may contain some graphical images and or videos. So, prepare yourselves. Since its grand opening in 2006, Bumi's airport has had haunted stories that didn't stop. The airport has suffered construction problems, accidents, suicides, rituals, prayers, and even exorcism. And it all started because of this. Before it was an airport, the area was known as Cobra Swamp, called Nong Nguhao, which was an ancient burial ground. During its construction, the workers encountered fatal accidents to unearthly chanting, moaning, and wailing. These strange events became so intense that some of them refused to continue working. The airport suffered so many accidents that include car crashes, equipment failures, and even a plane that lost control and skidded off the runway in 2013. The airport also encountered a high suicide rate. Like, what the hell? From people leaping off the terminal areas. They actually needed to build a glass barrier to stop people committing suicide. So, the airport actually decided to gather 99 Buddhist monks to conduct an exorcism for 9 weeks. But there's also a tale. The tale goes of a man called Pu Ming that actually lives in the airport. Pu Ming is thought as a guardian of the ancient cemetery that roams around as an old man. People have actually reported, seen, and even spoken to this man, sometimes appearing as a flash of light. Another story goes of a lady carrying her baby who's known to cause tragic accident by frightening drivers on nearby road. Others' claims are of poltergeists, eerie footsteps, ghostly voices, shrill wails, and haunting sounds of classical Thai music. Known as the White Lion Mansion. Built in the 90s, the building was initially meant to serve as a sales center for an upscale condominium, but something happened. The developer suddenly went broke, and the entire property went for sale in 1997, till this day. Before the site was built, the owner was warned of the site having bad feng shui, yet he chose to ignore it and build it anyway. He even decided later on to move in the building with his wife and children, and that choice ruined all of their lives. So people say that after the man moved in, he went insane, killing his wife and children, chopping them with an axe. What later happened to the man was unclear, but the house was left abandoned. The house itself has tons of beautiful architectures that looks very traditional, having a white lion at the front of the house. With the eerie story behind the house, I can tell why nobody is interested in buying the building. Also known as the Death Railway. The Japanese occupied Thailand in 1941 when they decided to build a railroad from Thailand to Burma. This bridge went to become one of the most tragic, inhumane moments of the 20th century. An estimation of at least 330,000 civilian laborers were forced to work in starvation, filth, forbidden to have beds, and even forbidden to have clothing. Many people died from diseases, starvation, and exhaustion. And in order for the Japanese to build the Hellfire Pass, a large part of the Tenasserim Hills requires an enormous effort to cut through the solid rock. And this is where 69 people were beaten to death by the Japanese. By the end of this project, at least 90,000 civilians and 16,000 prisoners of wars died beneath the tracks. That's a total of more than 106,000 people. Statistics showed that for every railroad tie, which is that piece of wooden plank you see on railroads, at least one person died. That the entire railroad is haunted by these people who died brutally inhumanely, and unable to cross over. A small island near Koh Lipe lies the island Koh Hingham. This island is empty with no residents, but you can visit the place on a day trip. Just remember, don't bring anything home with you. The legend goes that the god of Tarutao placed a curse on the island, and if any visitor dares to take home their beautiful black pebbles, they would be cursed forever. And this curse is irreversible. You can play with the stones while you're there, but you can't take them home with you and away from this island. The scariest thing is that people actually have taken these stones home with them and will later actually mail the stones back to the national park manager in hopes of lifting the curse. As a Muslim, I don't believe in other gods other than the God of my religion, but I do believe in the supernatural. And to be honest, I personally believe that there are other beings that live among us in a parallel universe, whether they're called ghosts, gods, demons, or even jinns. But whatever that lies on that island will follow you back home and bring nothing but pain and suffering in unimaginable ways. Just remember, don't bring anything home. This hotel was once the tallest building in Bangkok with a height of 304 meters until the King Power Mahanakhon building was built with a height of 314 meters. That's just 10 meters difference. Constructing this building claimed many lives of the construction workers, by which they fell to their deaths from unsafe equipment and working practices. People have reportedly seen shadow figures roaming the floors, beds and other objects moving on their own, and creepy shadows that follow you in the hallway. Guests and staff members have had complaints of feeling uneasy and of being watched. It became so much that it got its name as one of Asia's most haunted hotels. Here's a quote from a guest on TripAdvisor who stayed in the haunted hotel. This video is just the beginning. Continue watching part 2 of this video with tales that will send chills down your spine. Subscribe to WiseDefies and please like this video. If you're still brave enough, I'll see you in part 2.